Game number 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight, and I'm going to take a look at that Toronto-Milwaukee matchup here on this video report, plus 2 complimentary plays in baseball coming your way. But for those of you that happen to be long-time package players with me, I'm also going to talk about the elephant in the room, and that would happen to be my series selection on the Bucks. Yes, way back when this series began. On that fateful first night, I had 2 15-dime best bet releases. I had one on the Bucks in the opener, and of course Milwaukee, a 6.5-point favorite, played lousy for 3 quarters, but in the 4th frame, they had a monstrous final closing push, and they managed to cover in a 108-100 victory. But I also had Milwaukee as a 15-dime play in the series at minus 290. And at the time I said that the wonderful thing about a series price that big is that over the course of 7 games, yet you had numerous opportunities to bail out, but I didn't think it was going to be necessary because I thought Milwaukee would win this series with ease. And of course in game number 2, I had a 20-dime raise to bar release on Milwaukee, and didn't I look like a genius? And then came to game number 3, and game number 4, and game number 5. And well, they took away my genius cap. Well, here we are in game number 6. Well, after game number 5, Milwaukee said all the right things. They would see you back in game number 7, yada, yada, yada. Well, here we are. Do I think the Bucks can win tonight? Listen, this is a great price to bet Toronto. If you're betting this game tonight, how can you not bet Toronto? Coming back home with confidence, coming back home with momentum against a Bucks team, a young, inexperienced team when it comes to the postseason. Suddenly, confidence shattered, a team losing 3 straight games for the first time all year. How can you not lay 1 point, 1.5 points with Toronto at home tonight? If I'm playing the game, that's the way I have to play it. So, am I saying to bail out suddenly on my series play? For those of you, again, that are long-time package players with me, is that the bailout play? Absolutely not. Listen, the thing with gambling is you have to look at it this way. Sometimes you just have to fold them, like the song says. You have to walk away from the table because there is no bailout play here tonight. And you're going, oh my God, Al, what are you talking about? It was a 290 favorite. What are you talking about? Isn't this the time to bail out? Let's realistically look at this from, again, an investment strategy. So in game 1, I had a 15-dime winner on Milwaukee. In game number 2, I had a 20-dime winner on Milwaukee. In game number 3, I tried to get a little greedy. It was a good strategy. I had a 15-dime loser on Milwaukee. So in the 3 games here, in terms of side selections, I have a net gain of 3.5 dimes versus a potential loss in the series, a 15-dime play at minus 290. A potential loss of 43.5 dimes. Do the math, I have 40 dimes on the table. We're using dime units. You have to equate that versus the dollars you invested per dime. 40 dimes on the table. Guys, this week I've won 4 out of 5 baseball plays this week over the past 5 days, Monday through Friday. They've all been raise the bar 20 dime releases. My net gain, 77 dimes. I've already bailed out. That's why I've had these baseball plays over the past 5 days, because again, I've noticed that the Bucks haven't been playing that well. So today I'm in a situation already that I bailed out. 77 dimes to the good for baseball, 40 dimes potentially to the bad in the NBA. I have another raised a dime, 20 dime play today, which is a much stronger play for me, and I'm talking again to you that are package players. This 20-dime play in baseball today is a much stronger play than me coming out and telling you, hey, bet the Raptors tonight. Because the Raptors would be no more than a 5-dime play. Because that's how I feel about this game tonight. It's an investment strategy again. That's how it goes. It's not about a particular game, a particular sport. It's about the best bet on the board. That's how you have to look at this. Again, you can't limit yourself to a game, a sport. It's about the best bet on the board. That's your overall investment strategy. I think some guys get so hung up on games and sports instead of looking at the overall picture sometimes. So I have bailed out. And you have, without even realizing it already, because my strategy wasn't today. It started 5-6 days ago on Monday because, yeah, I realized the Bucks are in trouble. So again, going back to game number 6 tonight, do I think the Bucks can win it? No, I don't. Should they win it tonight? Geez, that'll be like Christmas in May. I mean, I'd be thrilled if they can force a game 7, because then I think that who knows what will happen. But I don't think they can. I'd be thrilled if they could, but I don't think they can. I do believe that Toronto is going to be the play tonight, but you ain't going to find me putting any money on them. Let's talk about baseball here today. A couple of complimentary plays for you. I like Atlanta minus $1.15 at St. Louis tonight. A pair of rookie right-handers going. Mike Soroka for Atlanta and Dakota Hudson for St. Louis. You got to go with the hotter team here, and that is definitely the Braves, who are 4-1 on this road trip, a road trip that began in San Francisco. They won 5-2 in last night's series opener, but let's talk about Soroka, who is a 21-year-old right-hander, making his 8th start. The Braves are 5-2 in those starts so far. 3-1 in his road outings at San Francisco on Monday. 8 innings of 2-hit, 1-run ball in which he struck out 7. Just needed 94 pitches to get through those 8 innings to lower his earned run average to 1.01 on the season. The Braves took 2 out of 3 from St. Louis at home in the middle of May. So they're 3-1 in the season series. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have lost 7 of their last 9 at home. They've lost 15 of their last 20 overall. Braves are at a damn cheap price. Before I get to your second selection, which is on Boston and Houston, just a quick word, which is something I find very interesting. I've talked many times about how run line strategy is the way you have to play baseball. And it certainly has impacted the way you bet baseball over the last 20 years. 20 years ago, only when you had the big guns, the Roger Clemenses, the Randy Johnsons, the Pedro Martinezes, even before that, when you had Tom Seaver and Steve Carlton and Nolan Ryan, guys at their prime, did you always have to immediately look at run lines to get favorable values? But baseball's changed. Now you have mediocre number 4 and number 5 starters, guys that are barely 500 pitchers, just because they happen to be pitching at home for a team that happens to be on an average run. You have to pay them on the run line, because otherwise, their starting price on the money line is minus $1.60. It's just crazy. But the beautiful thing about playing teams on the run line, the advantage of that is that you maximize your potential earnings, because often you're getting these teams at slight underdog prices, and you're always minimizing your potential losses, because you're taking teams that would be heavy favorites and you're turning them into near even money prices or into slight underdogs. So that is the beauty of playing baseball on the run line. However, what you also find is, that often some pitchers and some teams are just automatically assigned ridiculous prices. Case in point, Houston Astros, a couple of times already earlier this week. Justin Verlander pitching at home. Astros, great. Astros are playing good ball. Justin Verlander pitching great. The money line price, $330 to $370. You can't even play him on the run line, because the run line price $160 to $170. It's crazy. You can't play him either way, right? But last night, Minnesota was my $20 release, right? If you happen to get it. Twins, sizzling, coming back home, 6-1 road trip, right? Absolutely on fire, this Minnesota Twins team, playing great ball. Jose Barrios, a guy who has been a tremendous play at home the past 3 years, every bit, not as good as Verlander, but every bit as good at home for his team as Verlander has been for his. What happens? The Twins on the run line last night, minus $1.05 to minus $1.10. Because it's Jose Barrios, and it's the Twins. It's not the Astros and Verlander. The value was tremendous. Twins fall down 4-1 in the second inning. Hottest team in baseball right now. They won 11-4. There are still bargains out there. Just wanted to point that out. Okay, let's talk about Boston. Boston lost last night's series opener to the Astros by a 4-3 count, but I'm going to go with Boston as a slight road dog tonight, plus $1.10 at Houston with David Price, who, of course, the last time he pitched at Minute Maid Park was last October 18th when he clinched the ALCS with 6 shutout innings in that Game 5 win, capping a great ALCS performance for Price. He came off the injured list on Monday at Toronto with 5 innings of 3 hit ball, gave up 2 unearned runs in that victory. He has a 2.94 earned run average in 12 career outings, 10 of them starts against the Astros. Of course, in the ALCS last year, in 2 outings, he had a 3.38 earned run average with 13 Ks in 10.2 innings. Now, Brad Peacock has pitched well here of late for the Astros. Won his last 3 starts, but who did he pitch against? At home against Kansas City, at Detroit, at home against the White Sox. Not exactly a fearsome trio, right? 4-3 last night, as I said, for the Astros, who snapped a 2-game skid. They have won 17 of their last 21. They're 19-6 at home this season, but George Springer returned to action last night. First time since leaving last Sunday's game at Fenway against the Red Sox. What happens? He strains his hamstring. He's going on the injured list today. They're already without Jose Altuve. Springer was batting .308, leading the American League with 17 home runs and 43 RBIs. Altuve's on the injured list already with 9 homers and 21 RBIs. You're talking about 2 pretty significant pieces that are going to be out of the Astros lineup. That's why I'm going to go with the Red Sox and Price as your other complimentary play, along with the Braves in baseball. And again, I do like the Raptors in the NBA. That'll do it. Wish you well, guys. Talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck, everybody.